I get it, you've probably seen those ultra-thin 43-inch panels that promise a cinema-grade picture for the price of a budget TV, only to discover a few weeks later that the colors look flat, the smart interface lags, and the whole thing just blends into the wall like a cheap poster. That regret is what makes most people hesitate when they hear about a frame TV that's supposed to double as art. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So the question is, does Samsung's 50-inch the frame with the 1-year CPS Enhanced Protection Pack actually feel like a smarter buy? Or is it just another pretty face that will leave you wishing you'd stuck with a regular flat panel? When I started looking into the frame, the first thing that stuck out was the concept itself. Samsung markets it as a piece of decor that can display your favorite paintings, family photos, or even a curated art collection when you're not watching TV. For anyone who lives in an open-plan loft, a small apartment, or a home office where a traditional black rectangle feels out of place, that promise is compelling. The real test, though, is how it behaves once you actually mount it, switch it on, and start using it day to day. Setting it up was surprisingly straightforward. The bundle includes a full-size wall mount, a single HDMI cable, and the 1-year CPS protection plan, which covers accidental damage and most hardware issues. Because the TV is designed to sit flush against the wall, the mount's depth is minimal, and the whole thing sits almost like a picture frame. I used a standard stud finder and a level, and within about an hour the TV was securely hung and ready for the art mode demo. Art mode is where the experience diverges from a regular TV. Once you hit the remote's art button, the screen dims to a soft glow and displays whatever image you've chosen. The frame comes with a subscription-free selection of classic works. Think Van Gogh's Starry Night and Monet's Water Lilies, plus a few modern prints. You can also upload personal photos via the Samsung SmartThings app, which means the TV can become a rotating gallery of your own memories. In my living room, the TV now shows a family portrait during dinner, and when I'm watching a movie later, it instantly switches back to full-screen video with no noticeable lag. The picture quality, when you're actually watching something, is where the quantum dot talk comes in. The colors are richer than the typical LED panels you see in budget models, and the contrast holds up well in a moderately lit room. Because the screen is meant to double as art, the panel maintains a consistent brightness across the whole surface, which prevents the hotspot effect you sometimes get with cheaper TVs that try to push brightness from the corners. I tested it with a streaming documentary, a sports broadcast, and a video game, and each time the image stayed vivid without the oversaturation that can make skin tones look unnatural. That said, it's not a flagship 4K OLED, you won't get the infinite blacks of a high-end QLED, but for a living room that doubles as a gallery, the trade-off feels reasonable. Now, who should actually consider buying this? If you're someone who loves to entertain and wants a TV that doesn't dominate the wall when it's not in use, the frame makes a lot of sense. Interior designers, art enthusiasts, and anyone who works from home and wants a background that feels intentional rather than a blank screen will appreciate the seamless switch between media and artwork. The included protection plan also adds peace of mind for households with kids or pets. Accidental knocks happen, and the 1-year coverage can save you from a pricey repair bill. On the flip side, there are clear reasons to skip it. First, if you're a hardcore gamer who demands ultra-low input lag and a high refresh rate, the frame isn't built for that niche. Its response time is decent for movies and TV shows, but you'll notice a slight delay compared with a dedicated gaming monitor. Second, the subscription model for the Art Store, which offers a rotating selection of licensed works beyond the free handful, adds an ongoing cost you might not want. Finally, the price point is higher than a conventional 50-inch TV with similar core specs, so if you're purely after picture performance and don't care about the aesthetics, you could get more pixels for less money elsewhere. One hidden trade-off I discovered after a month of use is the impact of ambient lighting on the art mode. The frame's sensors automatically adjust brightness, but in a room with strong natural light from windows, the artwork can appear washed out unless you draw the curtains or add a dimmer to your room lights. It's not a deal-breaker, but it does mean you need to think about your lighting environment if you plan to rely on the TV as a constant piece of decor. Another practical consideration is the built-in speakers. The TV comes with a modest sound bar built into the frame, which is fine for dialogue in.